Welcome to the second Excel training video. Thank God you've come back after the last one. Anyway, in this lesson we're going to have a look at what Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Y do, then inserting columns and rows as well as deleting columns and rows, and then we're going to move on to basic formatting, so bold, italic, underlining, alignment, merging, and the colouring of the font and the backgrounds. So on to Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Y. If, for example, you type something and you realise you don't really need it because it's a mistake, the quickest way to get rid of it is hit Control and press C. What that does, it takes away the last action you did. You can keep pressing Ctrl-Z to go all the way back, but I mean I use it quite a lot because I tend to make quite a few mistakes. Another thing, if you have Ctrl-Z'd it and need it back, you can just do Ctrl-Y, which is redo. So they were the shortcuts. Otherwise you can use these arrows up in the top. So this one is Ctrl-Z, which is undo typing, and this one will be Ctrl-Y, which is redo typing. So that's them ones done. Let me just do, where is it, that one? Right, inserting rows and columns. Again, this is quite easy. Select the column to the right of where you want to insert the new column, right click, insert column, and it will insert it to the left. The same with rows. Select the row underneath of what you want to insert. So I've selected 16 there, insert it, and it will select another row above it. Right, that's that one done. Now deleting columns and rows, exactly the same method. Select it and delete it. Easy. Select it and delete it. Again, all pretty basic. Again, we've done that one. So now we're going to move on to basic formatting. So pretend we've got this client list here, which looks a bit of a mess because it hasn't been formatted or anything. So what we can do, we can see about bold. Now there are several ways to bold something. The first one is if you select it and right click on it, you'll see this little box appear above, and then all you do is click on the B and it bolds it. Another way is to select it, go up to Home, Font, and you'll see another B. Click on that one there and that will bold it as well. Or the other one is the keyboard shortcut, which is Control and B, and that will bold it. Also, the keyboard shortcut is probably the fastest way as well, but if you're happy doing it the other way, then do it that way. It makes no difference, does the same thing. So we've done bold. Right, onto italics. You can italic anything the same as bold. So for example, if we pick the top line, we can right click, the little box comes up, and instead of pressing B you press I and it makes it into italics. We can do the second line down, but again, instead of doing the right click, we can move up to the Home and the Font and click on the little I, or we can use the keyboard shortcut of Control-I, which again does exactly the same thing. Italics done. Right, underlining. The basic underlining that we can use is you can right click and no, that's a mistake, sorry. Go up here under the Home Font and just click on the U. This will put a single underline underneath. Or you can click on the little arrow next to it and you can do a double underline. As you can see, single, double. I'll just get rid of these by doing Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Z again. The other way to do it, of course, is the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-U, but this one will only put in a single underline under what you have selected. Ctrl-Z just to get rid of them. So that's the underlining done. Alignment. Now the alignment is obviously under the alignment section of the home panel, and what you can do, these ones you can do, these are vertical alignments and horizontal alignments. So you can align it to the left, you can align it to the center, you can align it to the right, and if the row is quite high, you can use the vertical ones to put it in the middle or to put it to the top. So for example, to center it, you could have it in the middle of both and it would center it in the cell. Let's move that back. So that's the basic alignment done. Now we're going to do merging. So see where it says client list up the top? If we select it all, see merge and center, if you click that, it will merge all the cells you've selected into one cell and put whatever was in them in the center. Or you can click the little arrow next to it and you can merge across, which will just make it all into one cell but keep whatever's in it to the left. Or you can just merge the cells, which will do the same thing. Or the last one is to unmerge the cells. So if they are merged, click that, click unmerge, and it'll go back to normal. So that's merging. And lastly, onto the colouring of the fonts and backgrounds. Firstly, I'm just going to merge and centre that and turn it bold so it looks a bit better. Also, with these first names, last name, company name and addresses, I'm just going to align them to the centre of their boxes like that. So next comes the colouring of the fonts and backgrounds. Colouring of the font and background is quite easy. You can click on this, right click, see this one with the A and the red underneath. You can click the little arrow next to it and choose what colour you want the font to go into. Also, if you hover over the colour, it would change. It did change the font, but anyway. So select it, as you can see, and just click. There you go, it's changed the font colour. You can also change the background colour. So select the cells you want, right click, and then there's this one that looks like a little paint bucket. Click that and you can click a colour and it will change the background of the cell. There are other ways to do this. For example, if we select all the first names, you can go up to home and font, right click on the fill background and put in a different colour in. Also, you can see that the colour stays there. So if you select new ones and just click it, it will fill it in with the same colour. And this applies to your fonts as well. So there, change your font colour to a green. And as you can see, they're green there. Select them ones, click it again, and then once we change to green. So using a combination of the background colour and the font colour, you can make it look quite presentable. So I think that's it for this one. A couple of hiccups along the way, but don't worry about that. And hopefully you'll join me for the third one. Bye.